big card show day today. We're going to Concord, California for a show I always look forward to. Always has really, really good stuff. A lot of vintage stuff, a lot of variety of dealers. Orlando Cepeda is signing autographs today. And then we're going to head down the road to a newer show in Hayward, California, about 30 or 40 minutes away from Concord. So we've got about an hour and a half drive ahead of us to get to Concord. So we're going to take off. Really looking forward to today.
All right, so in we go to the Concord Show. Again, this is always one I really look forward to. It has such a variety of stuff. And right off the bat, a case with tons of mantle. Moes, Clemente, Rose, Gibson, Aaron, Bench. What a case. There's always quite a few vintage dealers here. And usually there's one or two new ones that bring in some stuff I've never seen before. This dealer got a nice Cepeda rookie there. 58, Hank Aaron caught my eye. 65 Moes, Carlton rookie. Check this out, a 57 Topps football pack and a 58 Topps football cello pack. I mean, I could have a Jim Brown rookie in there. Got a cool Mickey Mantle autograph ball here. Got some really cool stuff. More memorabilia than normal at the show today. So this case got some good football stuff, some Sayers, some Jim Brown, Bradshaw, a lot of good stuff in there. I took a look at that 56 Aaron at the top. It was nice looking, really well centered card. And just case after case, again, really a variety. Even if you're not a vintage collector, there's a lot of stuff at this Concord Show always. A lot of mantles in this case. Got the Cracker Jack cards. Some Bob Gibson rookies. Couple Satchel Pages. I mean, what a case that was. So over to my buddy Mo, he's always got some incredible boxes of stuff. It seems like something that's really on the rise is boxes to dig through, which I don't mind doing. It's better for collectors and buyers because we have access to more stuff when we are digging through the boxes and when there's just a couple of showcases with limited cards available to see. Got these nice cards here. I'm talking to the dealer. I was talking to the dealer there. He was telling me about a bunch of the stuff he has behind the table that once he has room, he's going to bring more out. We've got a lot of early 70s stuff here. Tons and tons of PSA slabs. A nice Fisk rookie. So, I've always wanted a Winfield rookie. This one seemed a little high. It was up to about 130 about a year ago, but it's a little less than that now. Got some George Brett rookies in decent condition. You get a little pricey on Brett. Dennis Eckersley rookie. Again, I spent probably about 45 minutes digging. Maybe a little less than that, 35 minutes. Now, this Ozzy Smith really caught my eye because it's well-centered. So, Ozzy Smith rookie is one that I've always wanted to have slabbed up. And in an 8, it's really getting up there in price. But a 7 is usually pretty affordable. So, I pulled that one aside and gave it a really good look. I loved how centered it was. So, that was on my radar. Got a couple 84 Fleer Update Clemens and Puckett. The volume that Mo has, and he's always bringing different stuff. I saw him a while back at a show, and the stuff in the boxes he brought today was significantly different than what it was just a few weeks ago, so I always spend some time. Got a couple of the 81 Jack Nicklaus cards, and then the Stat Leader card. He's got hockey in there. That's a cool Gretzky card. So I kept moving along. Got that Pele autograph. Caught my eye right there in the center. To the left, you got a nice bench rookie. This case had some really cool autographs, and I'm always a sucker for all-time players on modern cards autographs. So cases like this, I always give a good look to. And then this case has got some great Moes and Aaron. Reggie Jackson rookie there. Another Brett rookie. Lots of Aarons, lots of Moes in this particular case. Tons of great stuff. So there is Orlando Cepeda. He showed up a little early. He was scheduled for later in the afternoon, but he got there about 45 minutes before he was scheduled to start signing. And I went to this box. I mean, just look at the volume of this stuff. Just Mattingly rookie after Mattingly rookie, Tony Gwynn after Tony Gwynn. It's kind of amazing how the value that some of these dealers have in just a couple of boxes. Got some Cal Ripken rookies. Just now, that's a card. When I was on the way to the show, I said to my dad, hey, you know, I might pick up an 85 Fleer Kirby Puckett rookie today. I really like that card. So I gave that one a look. You got some mid-grade stuff here in this box. You got Catfish Hunters and some Reggie Jacksons. That's a tough card. It's at a third-year Reggie Jackson, Nolan Ryan. And these are mid-grade, so they're a little more affordable. Tough thing with those black borders is any little ding just accentuates it so bad. It's tough. Kept moving through again. It wasn't super crowded. I got there with my dad right when it opened. Now this is a great Reggie Jackson card, his second-year card. That one was a little rough, but the price was pretty decent. I thought about that one. But we got there right when it opened this time, and it definitely was better for us as far as the crowds are concerned, getting there right at opening. Sometimes we're 20, 30 minutes after opening, but today we got there right as the doors opened. Now these 75 Topps Minis are my big mistake of the day. They're awesome, and they're $8 each. And I'm sitting there going, why? I'm literally thinking to myself, man, those are only $8. Like, I wasn't planning on buying some 75 Topps, but man, those things were so nice. I got to look at them again. So you could almost see my wheels turning. And I'm going through them going Seaver and Gibson and Rose, and they're really, really nice. And they're $8 each. Reggie Jackson, $8. Mike Schmidt, $8. And I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't planning on spending $8 a piece on those, but so I set them aside. My plan was to come back, and I forgot. It's why you buy when you're there. Lots of autograph material at this particular show. You got balls and jerseys and helmets. Got some cool autograph balls here. And then the table right across the way also had some really cool high-end autographs. You got Reggie Jackson in there, Ted Williams. I mean, you got some really nice ones. A couple autographed jerseys. And Willie Mays in there. So again, I had mentioned earlier, I am definitely a sucker for legendary players on modern cards that are on-card autographs. So Walt Frazier and Elvin Hayes. I definitely gave a thought to. Got Bill Cartwright there. So these types of boxes, I usually when I see one like this, I'll go through it for sure.
Can I take a look at the Jerry Lucas in the case?
So speaking of, this guy had a Jerry Lucas autograph on an impeccable card. And he was asking $12 for an on-card autograph of a Hall of Famer. And I'm like, $12? So I pretty much decided I want it. I mean, $12?
Did you take 10 on it?
Yeah.
So I gave him $10, and that was the first deal of the day. Again, he's asking 12 on it. I mean, hey, Jerry Lucas autographs, you know, if you look on eBay, they'll go anywhere from, you know, $20 to $50. But $10 for an on-card autograph of a Hall of Famer just seemed like a no-brainer. So that one will go straight into my PC. Now, this dealer's a guy I had never seen. I don't think I'd ever seen him at a show before. And he had a lot of raw stuff, a lot of loose singles. So I'm going through those again. A lot of the video today you're going to see is me thumbing through cards because it just seems like stacks of cards and boxes are more and more the way that cards are presented at shows. So when there's a nice case, I'll show that too. But in order to get a good look, a lot of the time, it'll be me thumbing through stuff. It's got some cool 58s here, some 63, got some 65. I mean, most of these guys are Hall of Famers or just miss Hall of Famers. They're kind of mid-grade condition. Decent prices, nothing crazy. There's nothing in his box that really caught my eye to pull the trigger on. Now, these are the 70s stack. And again, they are just kind of mid-grade. When I'm getting into the 70s, I generally want something fairly sharp.
I think so. I think it might be missing the last card.
There's that Reggie Jackson again. So, you know, that's the first stack of his 70s. I'm hoping there's something in the second stack. Again, I really give a good look at any dealer I've never run into before. I've always wanted an Andre Dawson rookie. There's another one of those 75s. I mean, there's good stuff. It's just, to me, for 70s, it either needed to be a little cheaper or a little sharper. But there's, you know, nice to look at. But then I noticed right around the corner he had this value box. So there's a 79 Tom Seaver was the first card I saw in the value box. And I look up on the sign and it said 20 cards for $10. So we're talking about 50 cents a card if I buy 20 of them. And as I'm going through this box, a lot of the cards are in sleeves, and I'm like, wait, a Ted Williams, 59 Ted Williams? That can't be right. Nope, it's a reprint. And I mean, we're talking about 50 cents a piece, and I'm like, I mean, that's a Carl Yastrzemski. I mean, sure, it might be like a $2 card, but he's a Hall of Famer, and it's 50 cents, and it's sharp. So yeah, some of them are in sleeves, some of them are just not in anything. Now, I have 2 of that Robin Yount card. Otherwise, I would have bought that too. There's Rod Carews in the box and all sorts of good stuff. So I kept digging through there, and I was determined to reach my 20 cards. I pull out this Yastrzemski, It's like a $3 card, 50 cents. Got a 79 Jim Palmer. I ended up pulling that card back. I went back for it, but I ended up getting that one as part of my stack. But the cards were $2 a piece, or 20 for $10. So you basically have to find 20. So that was my goal. So as I'm digging through, I'm again thinking, all right, anything decent here, I'm gonna probably grab. Maybe there's Pete Rose's in there, 85 Flair Pete Rose, and there's all sorts of stuff in this particular box. I mean, 86 Topps Pete Rose. Ended up pulling one of those out. He had a couple, or maybe I went back for it. I think that's what I did. I think I went back for that one. I got this Reggie Jackson, 83 Fleer Reggie Jackson went into my pile. So kind of crazy. Here's a Steve Carlton. I mean, sure, these might be early 80s. You know, there were some Kirk Gibsons in there. I think there were second-year Kirk Gibsons, and I was like, I don't know. For 50 cents? What the heck? There's a Pete Rose. And it's like, again, John Schmaltz, Upper Deck rookie.
I ended up with like 23. Can we do 10 for 23?
So the deal was $10 for 20 cards. I had 23, and he went ahead and gave me the last 3 to make it 23 for 10. So we got a Rod Carew. I think there were a couple of this Yastrzemski and a couple of this Seaver. Again, the deal ended up being about 45 cents a card. Got a Carlton, Kirk Gibson, O-Pee-Chee, another Yastrzemski. I mean, tons of Hall of Famers in this stack. 23 cards again. And $10. I just seemed too good to not buy them. Schmaltz, Upper Deck rookie, that other Yastrzemski. Now, I bought this Theismann because he signs through the mail, so I will mail that off to him and hope he'll sign it. Another Seaver, and there were a couple of early Kirk Gibson cards. He was a big player during my childhood, so thought I'd grab those for less than 50 cents each. A 79 Jim Palmer. I mean, Eric Davis rookie card. This was a big card when I was a kid. It's worth about $5 now. But I think he had 2 of them. I grabbed them both. There's a Pete Rose. And all of these are in really, really good shape. Some of the cards that I skipped over that you might have thought, why did he skip that one? It was because they weren't nice. But most of these were pretty darn nice. Very sharp. There's that other Eric Davis. So I went back over to Moes because I kept thinking about that Ozzy Smith, and I was thinking that he had $100 on the sticker. So I was going to go make a play at it. And then I realized he had 125 on the sticker. So my whole plan was, well, maybe I'll get it for about 85 because he's asking 100. And then get over there, he's asking 125. So then I was discouraged because I was also planning on trying to bundle it with the 75 Topps Minis that I was looking at earlier. And also was thinking about this Kirby Puckett rookie that I had mentioned, and a Mike Singletary rookie. And then I was so frustrated because my plan fell through that I ended up forgetting about the minis and didn't buy any of them. So now I made it over to the Hayward show, about half hour up the road. And this is my guy Craig, who I usually make a purchase from during a show. He's always got good stuff and good prices. That Thurman Munson that was over there really caught my eye. I ended up getting sidetracked, as you'll see here in a second. And by the time I got back to Craig, he was packed up. So I was kind of bummed out I didn't get to buy something from him. But he's always got great stuff. Mantles, Clementes, Aarons, Mays, Pete Rose. I mean, just such good stuff. A lot of 65s in there. Really nice 65s. My dad ended up buying that Fleer Willie Mays there in the 5.5. So then I found my way to this guy. It was a mostly kind of tobacco card dealer, which is very rare. I've never seen him before.
What's that?
And I start going through these exhibits, boxing exhibits cards.
Are these like exhibits?
They're exhibits. They came out and
They're just the boxing exhibits.
they're just the boxers, yeah.
Yeah.
And they usually have the planes, cars, movie
I've not
stars,
seen the
all
boxing ones before.
that. Yeah, they're 50s.
Are there any bigger names in here?
Sugar Ray Robinson and that, no.
No, none
No.
of those types of guys.
They sold.
Okay.
I got a stack of them, and fella had a vending machines, and these are still in it.
Oh, really?
So yeah, an antique dealer, and I bought those from him.
Wow. That's really
That's why there's so
cool.
much duplication, because they were stacked inside. You put your penny in and got
Yeah.
them,
So you bought a vending machine.
He did, and I bought the cards that were in it. He sold a vending machine.
Oh, so
Yeah.
an antique dealer bought the vending
Yeah.
machine. You bought the cards from inside from
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And then he sold the vending machine.
Right.
Very cool. That's a cool
But
story.
he knew I liked boxing cards.
Yeah.
I liked old boxing cards. I got a lot of them, and so I got those. And
Yeah.
then there's other ones too
What-
from the 40s.
And what are these?
They're issued in between 1909 and 1912. Tobacco cards.
Okay. Is it
champion athletes?
Oh, this
and
is a whole
prize
set?
fighters. No.
Oh, they're
There's
individuals.
There's 153 cards in that set,
Okay.
and it's champion athletes and prize fighters, and so you Olympic players and boxers. It's a
Okay.
really nice Jack Johnson card in that set. I have it. It's not in there.
These are the commons.
Different, just duplicates the ones I had.
Sure.
The fellow who's in Chariots of Fire is in there.
Is he?
Yeah. Forgotten his name
That's a
now.
cool movie, cool
Yeah.
story.
It was a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
I love the soundtrack to it.
Of course.
Vangelis, I think.
He's a very knowledgeable guy, so I was really listening to him a lot and learning, and he was teaching me about
Very
some of
cool.
the
So
tobacco
what
card
is,
stuff. He's got more tobacco cards, just a wide variety of stuff. And I really like pre-war. I really like tobacco cards, just because you don't see them that often. Super cool stuff. So
Like English.
Yes.
then I went
The
over,
collection that you bought.
No,
and he had a lot of the old tobacco boxes.
Yeah, so I came over here in 75. So I've always collected cards.
He's explaining to me that, you could probably hear his accent. He's from Ireland and has been in the States for about 45 years. But he still has a lot of the stuff that he collected as a kid.
Imagine.
So he has a lot of old tobacco cards from the UK, the boxes that they came in. I mean, really, really cool stuff. I was completely in on buying quite a few things from him, just because it's stuff you don't see very often.
So where?
So again, I spent a lot of time just visiting with him and talking.
Like this kind of stuff is super cool to me. Even are these jockey cards?
And this actually is a series of sportsmen. And put out in 36, I think, by Phillips. And there's a couple of boxers in this set. There's none there, these are like Fred
Sure.
Perry. But I sell something like this for $1 or $2 a card.
Okay.
You can buy the complete sets, and they've gone up. They used to be very reasonable. And recently, as 10, 15 years ago, you could buy a complete set of this for about $40. But you can't anymore. It's like
Right.
50 card set is going to cost you.
So he was referring to a different set, not those boxing cards, but these hockey
Always
cards
fun
caught
meeting
my
nice
eye. I
people.
set those aside just because you never see those.
Well, I'm a soccer guy, so I might pull out some of your soccer
Stanley
ones.
Matthews or someone like that, I'll hit you for more. Or Danny Branchfeld. I don't even know what's in there. had these things for years.
He's got some wartime cards, which are kind of cool. You don't see every day. I mean, just an absolute treasure trove of stuff you don't see very often.
So you do 100 on these.
You wanted about $3 a piece for those.
Yeah.
That's all doubles of my own.
So you got 12 more of these guys in various shape.
Yeah.
What if I threw those into the pile? You were at 130. What if I added those 12? What would you do?
Well, quite frankly, I think I'm giving you a very good price on the other
I don't
stuff.
disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I think you are. So I guess I'm asking how much more for these 12?
All right, so we said 130, right?
Yeah.
So
140?
I'm happy with that.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
So, first deal here at this show, $140 for this big lot of stuff. So let's kind of go through it. So again, these are the cards that were mostly distributed in 1910. These are tobacco cards, variety of different sports, lot of Olympians and international athletes. These are called T218s, and they're champion athletes. And he's going to talk a little bit more in the video in a second and give a little bit of a lesson about the naming of different tobacco cards. But some of these were beautiful condition, and then some of them are a little bit more beat up. Now, boxing ones tend to be a little bit more valuable. There's a couple boxing ones in there. There's some wrestlers and swimmers and different things. And some of these are Americans and some of these are, European stars. But to me, I ended up picking up 50 of them in the lot. And they were they ended up being $2 a piece. So $100 for 50 of these. And again, some of them are absolutely gorgeous, and some of them, have, like that one, has seen better days. But anytime you can get something that's over 100 years old, and a picture as beautiful as these for $2 a piece, I was extremely happy with that. And I've continued to get more and more interested in pre-war stuff and tobacco cards, so was really, really excited to pick these up for this price. And I'll keep some of them, and I'll probably move some of them because, I certainly don't need the doubles and triples and things like that. But I will definitely be hanging on for my PC for some of these. So this was the biggest portion of that $140 deal. And you'll see in the background, what we're going to get to in a second, are the other couple of things that were involved in it. So there's the last one there. Again, beautiful cards. On the right there, so these are called A and BC All Sport cards. And they were part of a bubblegum company. And it's mostly English. And they came out in the early 50s. And these cards had a variety of different sports, as the name All Sport would make you think. I was focused originally on the soccer players because I'm kind of a soccer guy, but then when he basically said that he'd give them to me for $1 each, I went ahead and pulled the trigger and got all 20 of them. So I ended up with 20 of those. And then these were about $3 a piece. So these discs are hockey cards, and I believe they came with containers of peanut butter, and they're just kind of something cool and different than you don't usually see. And for $3 a piece, I'll take a chance. Now, why not go to the next table, which had Garbage Pail Kids, after buying a bunch of tobacco cards? Well, I gotta admit, my dirty little secret is I like Garbage Pail Kids, and this guy had a bunch of raw Series 1 Garbage Pail Kids, and he's such a friendly guy.
I don't have any.
And I'd love to buy some. And I collected these things when I was a kid, and it's just a nostalgia thing. And I don't really have a very good explanation why I like them. Now, I didn't end up buying any, but I certainly thought about it. And, he had probably about 80 to 100 of the Series 1's cards, and they're in really nice shape. I mean, really, really nice shape. And he's asking a decent amount for each one. And more than anything, I just wanted to look at them. But if the price was low, I probably would have bought a few just because of nostalgia purposes. When I was a kid, I was collecting mostly Series 3 and 4. And I understand that not everybody is into Garbage Pail Kids, but I really enjoyed looking at them, and talking to the dealer was a lot of fun. So this was a fun stop that I had along the way. And meanwhile, I didn't realize it, but the day was getting ahead of me because time was ticking, and I had already been to one show today, and before I know it, this show's getting ready to close up. And there was one last card from that tobacco dealer that just I couldn't stop thinking about. So I went back and took another look at it. And this is a tobacco card series of pirates. Yes, pirates, like, Pirates of the Caribbean. So I went over and I asked to look at it and started talking to him again. And then he was talking about how they name tobacco cards. I thought it was really interesting. So let's take a listen to what he had to say.
The nomenclature for cards, like the T206, as you like, T is 19th century tobacco.
Okay.
And it's in the American Card, the Cardiophilic Society has assigned these numbers. Burdick actually was one of the people who did it. And card collecting in England was huge, even in the 20s. There's these societies, and they still have, annual meetings and that. But so you have the N cards are the nomenclature for everything pre-1900 tobacco. T cards are everything post-1900 tobacco. Or cards, and that's the nomenclature, are the gum cards. K cards are food, any food issue. And so,
What kind of condition is your pirate set in?
Unfortunately, it's not all perfect, but I have some nice cards. I have a really nice Blackbeard, and that goes a lot of money.
Sure.
$500 in that kind of condition. My number one is beautiful.
What year would you say this is from?
1886. And if I'm wrong, it would be 1888. No later, but I think it's 1886.
I'll give you $20 for it. I love it.
You look online on Pirates.
So that is one last deal. So he wanted $20 for this pirate card. And I just thought that the little education he gave would be interesting to some of us about the naming of tobacco cards and different cards. And again, super nice guy, and I was super thrilled to pick this up. Absolutely gorgeous card. Now, again, this is an 1888. It was 88, not 86. N19. So as you just said, an N card is designated for a tobacco card before 1900. So this is 1888 tobacco card. So it's N. and it is in 19.
Just had the greatest time just talking beer stuff.
So then I kept making my way through this show and ran into these guys, a couple of super, super nice guys that were just hanging out, a couple of friends, and we're talking about how much fun it is to go to card shows and hang out with friends and meet new friends, and the camaraderie of the card collecting community and how enjoyable that whole thing is. So we kind of just got talking and just really enjoyed this conversation and looking at his cards and really cool stuff in there. And we started looking through some of his stacks of stuff because some of his cards were definitely in the era of stuff I'd be interested in. But just really enjoyed the conversation more than anything. Didn't end up buying anything else. And again, as I'm in this conversation, I'm looking at a couple of stacks. Next thing I know, I look up and about half the people are packed up. So I got a little long, I guess. But that's what I get for going to 2 card shows in one day. So going through here, making new friends, connecting with more people, and that's really what it's all about. So
I've made a lot of new friends.
And you can hear me talking about just that right now. Really cool stuff, but I was just about at the end of the day, and so I decided to finish up the conversation and head on out. So what do you think about the stuff I picked up? A little bit different, but I was pretty excited.